Haslam, Michael Doliak for the injured Shaq. Derek ended today, and then Dwyane Wade and Jason Williams at the head intact ever since the injury to Hughes and the Flip Murray at one guard spot, Eric Snow. Joe Crawford, Scott Wall, and Jack Neese are the officials as the Heat control the opening tap. And it's Jay Will at the point. Here's Wade. Cleveland opening with Snow on Wade, and Wade missing on the perimeter shot. Eric Snow and the Cavs in their first possession. Cleveland 27-10 here at the Q this year, and the Cavaliers 42-29 overall with this 6-game winning streak. Drew Gooden attacking, and there was contact and an offensive foul called on Gooden.
Offensive foul on number 90.
Mike Brown, in his first year as the head coach here with the Cavs, guides them into the playoffs this year.
What a great job he's done, because you know this franchise was facing an awful lot of pressure when they weren't playing well a few weeks ago, and you wonder how a rookie coach is going to handle that situation, but he made sure his team did not panic. He's pulled all the right punches here at a key part of the season to turn this thing around, and I can't say enough about the job he's done in his first year. And first year GM Danny Ferry as well, making a great move, bringing in Flip Murray. These two guys have really gotten it done as rookies in their roles.
That shot made by Udonis Haslam to put the Heat on top. Miami has won 2 of the first 3 against Cleveland. Ronald Flip Murray with Wade defending. And the rebound to Gooden.
You know, when Cleveland is really good, Drew Gooden is a big factor because he is one of the best offensive rebounders in the league, and when he's active and into the game and intense, this team has an added element to their offense.
Williams missing from long range, and here come the Cavs looking for the lead. Eric Snow offers a shot, and LeBron James follows it in. Eric Snow, not one to take a lot of shot attempts in a game. A 2-point Cavaliers lead. Wade shoots on Snow, and LeBron James clears. James, nice handoff inside to Ilgauskas, and he touched it while it was on the rim, so it's offensive basket interference.
And we're seeing all facets of LeBron early on. Gets a tip in for his first bucket, and here you see him clear the defensive rebound, come up, and great feed to Zydrunas Ilgauskas underneath the rim. And when you're 7'3", it's just too tempting not to go up there and touch it again, but it was sitting on that rim. Offensive goaltending on Ilgauskas.
Dwyane Wade turns it in. There's contact, but no call. And Udonis Haslam on the miss as James rakes down another rebound. LeBron going coast to coast. He'll shoot 2. As the foul is called on Anderson.
You know, LeBron James at 6'8", 250, 260 pounds, whatever it is he weighs, is one of the fastest guys in this league end-to-end with the basketball. And that's something that really makes him special, because anytime he gets a defensive rebound, the break has been started without an outlet pass. And that's a great luxury that you have when you're trying to run transition. And then the great upper body strength to get to the rim and finish plays. And he has really torched Miami a couple times this year by shooting a ton of foul shots. Miami's got to make it a priority today to keep him off that line.
6 in a row for the Cavaliers and a 4-point lead with 9:42 left here, just opening up at the Q. Cleveland, especially early in the season, had a reputation of building big leads and not hanging on. Oh, a nice move by Wade. And Miami lately has fallen behind by large margins and rallied to win.
Yeah, it's been amazing that they have been so sluggish at times, really all season long. They find themselves going through scoring droughts, and they're able to pick it up. It seems like it take it to another level when they need to and come back and win games that they've had to have.
LeBron James trying to hand off inside and underneath. There is a contact. Joe Crawford with a call. Oh, it's a legal defense, a 3-second defensive call, and so James to the line.
It's interesting, both teams going to their stars early, but for different reasons. Miami pretty much has been all about Dwyane Wade early on. Every option has been going to Dwyane Wade to try to score for himself. Cleveland runs the ball through LeBron James, but to get other guys involved. So it's a little bit of a different approach. I know the Cavaliers always want to get Ilgauskas going early on.
But for Miami, you don't have Mourning. Today you don't have Shaq for the second game in a row. Where do they go for an inside presence offensively?
They really don't have one. That's one of their problems. Right now, their best post-up player without Shaquille O'Neal playing is Dwyane Wade at the two-guard position, because he's a load to handle down there on that block. They have to run more passing game, and they have to hope to get out and get some stops and get run-outs. Is really their best opportunity to score with this group.
Off penetration, Williams delivers.
And a lot of pick and roll. Jason Williams, Dwyane Wade, Gary Payton. They've got three guards that can all run the pick and roll.
First 2 points for Jason Williams. And Gooden hits off the turnaround. Drew Gooden with his second field goal. Williams finding Haslam, who works on Ilgauskas. The pass to Doliak broken up. Gooden with a lob to LeBron.
I'll tell you what, Drew Gooden threw that ball and it looked like it was sailing into the rafters. And LeBron James comes out of nowhere to finish that play.
And the cue, the sellout crowd today still buzzing as Wade works on Snow into the post. And just like you said, Tim, they go inside to Wade to get some offense.
That's going to be a problem for Mike Brown in Cleveland. You're going to have to bring somebody. Eric Snow is a very, very good defender with a great reputation in this league, but more in terms of containing penetration. Dwyane Wade a little bit too athletic for him on that low block.
LeBron James on a three as Udonis Haslam takes it down. The Heat with a chance to cut it back to one. Williams all the way and cleared by Ilgauskas. The Miami Heat playing the first of a back-to-back to close out this road trip. Off the ball, Jack Neese with a call on that lob inside. A foul call on Doliak.
You look at Cleveland in transition, and Drew Gooden does a nice job at the power forward position running that break. Finds LeBron James on the backside, and here's that post-up opportunity. You can't give Dwyane Wade 3-4 dribbles down there. One or two, you're going to have to bring somebody to come help him. He gets close enough to the rim, he's just going to turn and shoot right over Eric Snow.
Again, the Heat looking to cut it back to one. Anderson. This is Doliak. He overshoots it and draws the foul in the process on Ilgauskas. So to the free throw line will be Michael Doliak for the Miami Heat in the starting lineup today with Shaq out. Something else to consider, you know, I mentioned this is the first of a back-to-back. It is New Jersey tomorrow. Miami has not clinched over New Jersey for the second best record in the Eastern Conference. So, you know, that's a two-game game. You go in there with Shaq, you know, more of a full complement of players, and you pull off the win and halt that hot winning streak of New Jersey, and that reduces it by 2.
Well, I think even more importantly, I think Miami has got to look at New Jersey as a more viable threat in the postseason. The way the Nets are playing right now, they're playing a much more physical style of basketball, and they look like a team that can be very scary in the playoffs. Cleveland hasn't even been there yet, so I don't think they're quite the threat that the Nets are right now.
In transition, Udonis Haslam has his second field goal as the Heat take the lead, and we get a timeout here by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Miami for something special in the air. No matter how you look at it. Is that fun or what?
High-scoring wing players this year. LeBron James has lit them up. Kobe's lit them up. Vince Carter's done it to them. They've got to find a way to defend that position. So that's a big game, and maybe part of the reason why you don't see Shaq out there today.
Here's Snow losing the handle, and the foul is called on Williams. Jason Williams has his first, and that's 3 team fouls on the Heat.
Eric Snow right there saying, hey, I was shooting the ball. I don't get that many opportunities to score. Let me get a couple freebies here.
But remember what I said. He doesn't shoot it very often.
So they probably couldn't believe he was actually attempting one.
Absolutely. Flip Murray hangs one up one-handed. And the rebound battle unclaimed, but LeBron has it. 4 rebounds for James. Dwyane Wade picks off the rebound. Miami Heat working on 6 in a row and 6 minutes left in the quarter. Eric Anderson getting a start today. Posey on the inactive list. That's Wade. Wade with 6.
Amazing body control by Dwyane Wade that time. Really was just trying to draw a foul. Got Eric Snow up in the air, but able to avoid the contact and still throw up an off-balance shot that goes down.
Cavaliers trying to stop the bleeding. Now the Heat have scored the last 8. 5:35 for the quarter as James works away from a double team and then fires. Wade, another rebound. Here goes Wade, attacking. Great handoff to Haslem. 3 assists for Wade. 10 straight points for the Heat and a 5-point lead.
And that's really the part of his game that's evolved since he's come into the league. This guy was really a 2-guard at Marquette. A dynamic scorer since the first time he put a uniform on in this league, but much better now being able to dribble, drive, penetrate, and get other people involved when the help comes.
Ilgauskas recovers and follows nicely. Big Z with his first 2. That halts the 10-point run of Miami. The Cavaliers with Donyell Marshall and Damon Jones ready to come on. Anderson sends it out to Doliak. Now Williams off the drive. It opens up a long look for Anderson. The rebound to Gooden. James against Wade. Nice move by LeBron. Yep, and a foul.
And you see it time and time again, but you're still amazed at the upper body strength of a guy that just turned 21 years old in December. LeBron James, unbelievable ability to finish despite contact, and we see this over and over, particularly in late game situations. He seems to make this play time and time again. That was a little Steve Smith move there, faked like you're coming back out to midcourt, spin back baseline. Doliak doesn't get there in time, and LeBron at the line once again, an area where Miami needs to focus on keeping him out of.
Wayne Simeon has come on for the Heat, replacing Doliak, who has 2 fouls. And LeBron James bags the free throw. LeBron with 8 already. Half of the Cavaliers' points. Williams attacking on Jones and a foul on Damon Jones. Damon Jones offensively has really come to life of late for the Cavaliers. He's hit 11 of his last 16 from 3.
Everybody clap your hands.
Here goes Wade. Pull up by Haslem. Udonis Haslem has 8 without Shaq. Where would the scoring come from? Well, 4 out of 5 by Udonis Haslem.
And Haslem's a guy that can certainly make that shot. He's a very good face-up 15-foot jump shooter.
Murray runs into a host of defenders, and that leaves LeBron open from somewhere on the outskirts of Akron. Williams. Haslem looked away and said, hey, I'm wide open here, and I'm a good free throw shooter.
Wanted to reverse it, but sometimes when there's no one over there, you can't do that, so you have to end up shooting the ball.
Now LeBron gets free down the lane. Damon Jones for 3, and the former Heat sticks his first of the day.
And he's starting to shoot the ball well. You see that smile on his face. You didn't see that smile a couple months ago. They brought him in to improve their three-point shooting. They were the worst in the league last year. They're still near the bottom, but Damon Jones is getting hot at the right time of the year.
That leaves him with 12 makes in his last 17 attempts, and it leads to a Miami tie.
It brings a smile on my face, honestly, because those 2 guys are the guys that I looked up to growing up. Michael Jordan, Oscar Robertson, and to be in the same sentence, you know, to be in the same breath as 2 legends, 2 of the greats to ever play our game. All you can do is smile. That's it. It makes me smile.
You know, he's only 21. Jordan broke in before he was born.
And to say,
so you know he didn't see Oscar Robertson.
He idolized Oscar Robertson growing up, maybe from the old clips, but certainly great company to be in and well-deserving. This guy has just put up numbers since he's been in this league, but it's not about the numbers with LeBron James. It's just about his unselfishness, and now trying to get to the next level where you lead a team deep into the playoffs and eventually a championship.
Antoine Walker in the game for the Heat. Payton is out there as well. And Miami on the run as Antoine Walker draws the foul on the way in. But the other thing about LeBron, and we found out this at the All-Star weekend, not this past, but a year ago in Denver, he is very knowledgeable on NBA history. He knows the history of the league. He knows the players, what they did, when they did it. And, you know, he wasn't around to see it, so it's obvious he's been into that NBA history book a little bit.
Yeah, if you look at the way he plays, it's a combination. He's got the new school athleticism, but he's got the old school knowledge of the game, vision and awareness, and his willingness to incorporate other guys. It matters to him what his teammates think of him, and it matters to him that they also are out there, and it's his job to make sure that they perform at their highest level. And you can't say enough about him at 21 to have the kind of maturity he has, the way he goes about his business. Mike Brown said he's got the calmest demeanor he's ever seen in his life. He never changes, and that's why you see LeBron James doing what he's doing every night.
The Heat couldn't get to the shooter out of the corner, and Flip Murray knocked out at 3. First points for Murray today. D-Wade firing on Murray, and Drew Gooden to pick off.
That's the shot you want to try to force Dwyane Wade to shoot. If you can make him shoot an 18-footer off the dribble with a hand up, he makes it, but that's your best bet to defend him.
That was Marshall missing the 3. And here goes Wade as he hangs it good and draws the foul. Dwyane Wade with a chance at a three-point play.
Yeah, Dwyane Wade, I mean, again, he's got a little bit of that upper body strength as well, and he's so good at splitting seams. Got a little bit of Allen Iverson in him, the way he can attack small gaps and still find a way to maintain balance, get to the rim, and finish the play.
Murray called for that personal foul. Anderson Varejão has come on now for the Cavaliers. Wade completes the three-point play with Tim Legler. I'm Jim Durham. Glad to have you with us on this special Saturday afternoon edition of the NBA on ESPN Radio here at the Quicken Loans Arena. The Cavs and the Heat, two of the heavyweights on display here today from the Eastern Conference. Damon Jones missing on the 3, and Gary Payton to the loose ball rebound. Well, this is Final Four Saturday, and we've got 2 of what will be the top 4 in the Eastern Conference in the playoffs. Hard to believe that's only 3 weeks away. Oh, Murray. And it's rebounded by Wade.
I'll tell you what, he gave him the old okey doke. Wayne Simeon, a rookie, still looking for that ball in the fake pass by Flip Murray, but he comes back and atones at the other end with the bucket.
Simeon getting his first 2, and the Heat taking the lead. And Cleveland's going to have to take a timeout here for Daniel Monk. Shot clock at 16. Here goes Big Z. Came up a little short. He's now 1 out of 5 from the field. So the Heat with a chance to extend. Antoine Walker dumps for Simeon. Blocked by Ilgauskas. But recovered by Payton. And now with 19 to shoot, about 15 difference. 12 on the shot clock. Jason Williams gives it up. Payton getting inside. Antoine Walker fires. Overshoots the rim into the waiting arms of LeBron James.
Did you see Antoine Walker really being the facilitator of the offense now? That's what he brings. That's his unique quality at 6'10". Cleveland should get the last shot here, LeBron. Oh, what body control.
That's 12 for LeBron. Here come the Heat back, trying to beat the clock. Walker, nothing doing as on the rebound attempt, Simeon picks up the foul. A lot of injuries, but in the last few seasons, played a lot of games here.
Yeah, there was a time when people were wondering if his career was over. He had so many problems with those feet. And anytime as an NBA player you start having problems with your feet and have surgery, just take a look at Grant Hill. He's really never been the same guy since they start cutting on your feet. Ilgauskas able to really completely turn his career around over the last few years here in Cleveland.
He puts the Cavs up by 1. Now they're showing 1 full second for the quarter and a 2-point Cleveland lead as the Heat bring it in play and dribble it out. So the first quarter comes to an end. Scorers after 1. Cleveland's lead is 2. And here's a foul called on Miami down in the post. It's on Simeon.
And it's interesting, you look at the Miami Heat and remember this is a team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals, came within a game of getting to the finals, and now with Dwyane Wade checking back in, they have 1 guy on the floor now that was on the team last year, but a second ago they had 5 new guys out there. Rarely will you see a team go that deep into the playoffs and have the kind of roster turnover that the Heat have had in one season.
LeBron James looking and finding Ilgauskas. LeBron splits the double team. Feeds Varajan, and it's finally tipped in. Wait a minute. That's a shot clock violation, I believe. The initial shot went over the rim, right?
We'll take a look here.
Basket is good.
Varajan goes up at the first attempt as the shot clock's winding down, and that ball did not hit anything. I think that should have been a shot clock violation. The tip came after the horn, and the ball never hit the rim.
That has given the Cavaliers their 4-point lead. Antoine Walker spins in. Rebounded by Ilgauskas, and here comes James. A look-away feed intended for Ira Newble, and knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Miami.
Right now, Miami's really just pretty much got a steady dose of Antoine Walker trying to create offensively. That was when Wade was on the bench. We'll see if they can get back in rhythm now of making Wade the #1 option, let other guys play off of him.
Gary Payton trying to be the initial defender with Shandon Anderson there, and it works for them this time. Walker picking off the pass. A reach-in foul on LeBron James.
We saw LeBron that time backing down in the post. If there's one area that I don't think the Cavaliers have really utilized LeBron James to the fullest extent, it's as a post-up player. Because if you remember the great teams that they had in L.A., you know, Magic Johnson was a guy that very often ran the offense out of the low post. LeBron doesn't do a lot of that, and I think it's something that you will continue to see him develop more and more into his game.
That's Shandon Anderson on a deep 2. Anderson's first points. Keeps the Heat within 2. Miami playing today without Shaquille O'Neal. And there is Ilgauskas with a nice bit of footwork on a spin move to the hoop. Remember, he's 7'3", 260, and he made that move.
And the strategy against him with Wayne Simeon, Doliak, whoever's playing him with such a size disadvantage, they're going to try to front.
Oh, what a move. Circus shot by Wade. Wade with 11.
You know, some things are just inexplicable that time. They had him defended well. They had him forced to the baseline. 3 defenders behind the basket, and great players still find a way to make incredible plays. That's what Dwyane Wade did on that last possession.
James. Right at the cup. He attacked on Shandon Anderson. LeBron James scoring. That's 14 points for LeBron and a 4-point Cavaliers lead.
Great hands that time, LeBron James. Shandon Anderson almost had a clean rip. LeBron able to maintain control and finish in traffic.
A 3 for Shandon Anderson.
Well, you can see the look on LeBron James' face. He's left Shandon Anderson the last 2 possessions to gamble, trying to get steals. I don't think he's really respecting him as an outside shooter, but now that he's made 2, he's going to have to pay a little more attention to where Anderson is on the floor.
Ilgauskas got bumped, and Varajan connecting. First points for him. 9 minutes remaining in the half. Wade rocks back. The long rebound cut off by Damon Jones. Now here we go. Matched up, James and Wade. Pretty move by LeBron James.
His own teammate, Anderson Varajan, almost took a charge on that play. LeBron James still able to finish over him and 2 defenders.
Ilgauskas knocked it away. It went off a Heat player before it went out of bounds. So on display today, check the scoop from Wade. Wow. And then LeBron says, oh, you're going to leave the lane wide open? Watch this.
determination to get to that rim. You wonder, is it a matter of time before this guy takes enough hits? He ends up on the injured list or disabled list for a while.
We saw in that picture the tights of Dwyane Wade on his legs. The NBA coming out with a ruling that next year players won't be allowed to wear them. But both Wade and LeBron have been wearing them, and just about every player says, look, these things keep our knees and ankles warm. We need these.
They're more than a fashion statement. I know the problems I had with my knees, I would have certainly had a set of those on to keep my knees warmed up.
What a setup from Wade to Haslam. Udonis Haslam has 10.
And Miami came out of that last timeout and went to a little match-up zone. Now they're back to man. They just did it for one possession, but Cleveland was confused and turned the ball over, led to a bucket at the other end by Miami in transition.
Ira Noodle handing the ball to Ilgauskas. And it's traveling called on Ilgauskas. They had Pavlovich wide open in the corner for three.
This had improved vision. We talked about Dwyane Wade runs pick and roll. Haslam diving to the rim, and a great delivery and finish by Haslam is going to get a few more touches today without Shaquille O'Neal and Alonzo Mourning on the floor.
6 assists for Dwyane Wade and no turnovers so far with 7:39 left in the half. You know, there's a guy, and you don't hear his name mentioned very often for most valuable player. But he certainly, if he were to be, let's say he was chosen most valuable player, I wouldn't argue with him.
No, I mean, you'd be hard to argue with him or any of the other top 4 or 5 contenders in the league. I think Dwyane Wade, part of the problem is he still, believe it or not, lives somewhat in the shadow of Shaquille O'Neal. And people always look at him as relying on Shaq, and we have that much help. Sometimes it takes away from your own ability to win an MVP. But you look at these other candidates, and I think my vote would go to Steve Nash. Based on the fact that they've had such a turnover in their starting lineup. 60% of that starting lineup is new, and Stoudemire out, Johnson leaves, Quentin Richardson's gone, and you bring in all new guys, some of whom couldn't even play on other teams, but having career years in Phoenix, like Boris Diaw and James Jones, Raja Bell, and that's directly attributed to Steve Nash and his ability to incorporate guys into that lineup.
In fact, Nash may be more deserving this year than he was last year.
You certainly could make an argument he's having a better year, and what an amazing run he's had, and Mike D'Antoni deserves a lot of credit for the system that they play and the ability to take new parts and have those guys play at that kind of level. LeBron James certainly is a guy that is on that short list, deservingly so. Where would Cleveland be without him? That's what Mike Brown asked us before the game. It's a hard question to answer. They certainly wouldn't be a playoff team without LeBron James.
The reason Haslam was on the line in that rebound, because he was fouled by Varejão, and that's the second foul on Anderson Varejão. So after the 2 free throws, the Heat, who were down 5, are back to within 1. Pavlovich draws a crowd in the lane, and that's an offensive foul. Sasha Pavlovich picking it up.
Pavlovich more of a spot-up shooter, a guy that plays better, I think, when LeBron James or Flip Murray is creating, and he can spot up and shoot the basketball. But sometimes when they're chest-to-chest with you at the three-point line, you got to try to make a play.
So Miami in possession. The Heat almost turnover-free today. They've turned it over just twice with 7:06 left in the half. Payton guarded by Damon Jones, and the shot clock at 8. Wade blocked by Ilgauskas. Not many guys are long enough to make that play on Dwyane Wade.
No, as athletic as he is, Udonis Ilgauskas is 7'3", and if he just puts his arms up, he's going to cast a long shadow.
Payton connecting on the float.
Well, that's one way to get over a shot blocker. You shoot the teardrop. Gary Payton has always had one of the best floaters in this league, and he gets one to drop there right when the shot clock expires.
So the Heat on top by 1 as they have scored the last 6. Murray, a repost to Ilgauskas. And a foul is called against Miami.
Free agent signing in the league in the offseason for his ability to take the pressure off LeBron James, another creator. He goes down, and what does Danny Ferry go out and do? Bring in Flip Murray, which was just an absolute great pickup because he's a natural scorer. He can create for other people. Take some of the pressure off of that man. As I mentioned right there, LeBron James doesn't have to feel all the burden to score all the time and create for people. That's why you bring in Larry Hughes, and that's why you replace him with a guy like Flip Murray.
Sanders Anderson called for this foul that will give LeBron James a 3-point opportunity. fouls on Anderson. James delivers good on the free throw. 5 of 5. The other thing about LeBron James, here's a guy who's averaging about 43 minutes a game and hasn't missed a game.
Yeah, people talk
he's only
about
21.
He's 21 years old. And I think the minutes are so overblown when you talk about a guy that's 21, that's that athletic. LeBron James will have plenty of time to rest when he gets up into his 30s. That's a long ways off. Right now, I think you got to ride this guy as much as you can. And Mike Brown's always talking about his minutes, but he never seems to give him a break.
Marshall missing, but was fouled. So Donyell Marshall will get to the free throw line. Derek Anderson called for the foul. That's his second. There's the numbers on LeBron James. You can see how they've gone up since his rookie year.
Yeah, and you can see, it's really wearing him down. The minutes have gone up 3, and the points have gone up 11. So you can tell the guy just doesn't have the gas to finish games in the fourth quarter. The minutes are more relevant when you talk about a veteran player, when you talk about a guy up in his mid-30s, or you talk about a guy that's dealt with injuries. LeBron James hasn't had any of those issues. So I think you're going to continue to see him out there in the mid to high 40s, and some nights in the playoffs you're going to see this guy play all 48.
Donyell Marshall missing at the line, so the Heat now with a chance to get the lead. Plus, the more minutes he's on the floor, the less time he has to chew his fingernails.
I don't know what's lit. They want to be nubs by now, because this guy is just gnawing on those fingers every chance he gets to sit down.
Nice pitch out by James. Marshall on a 3. Shandon Anderson rebounds and outlets to Payton. Dwyane Wade just now coming off that Miami bench, ready to get back into the game. Doliak misses. Haslam keeps it alive for the Heat. And Anderson gives them the lead.
3 jump shots by Shandon Anderson. That's just a bonus. I mean, they bring this guy in because he's an athletic wing player at 6'6". LeBron James, the kind of guy you bring him in to defend. Now he's giving you a bonus offensively off the bench.
Flip Murray. LeBron James works away from the double team. He's down to 7 on the shot clock. Oh, nice by Murray.
Great quick. That's that slashing, scoring ability we talked about Flip Murray exhibited in Seattle. Remember, this was a guy that averaged 25 for a long stretch when Ray Allen was out of the lineup, so he can definitely put up numbers in bunches.
Derek Anderson on the miss. And the Cavaliers looking to regain the lead. 4:20 for the half. Murray trying to shake Udonis Haslem. And on the rebound, out of bounds to the Cavs with the fresh 24. And Pat Riley's got Wade coming back into the game.
Well, if you don't have Shaquille O'Neal on the floor getting all those touches in the low post, you're going to have to move the ball, get reversals, eventually lead to open looks. Cleveland is a team that still needs to get better defensively. I think that's how you attack a team like that. You make them communicate, make them rotate, move the basketball without that one dominant guy out there that you can just throw it into and make things happen.
Pat Riley also coming back with Jason Williams. So Wade and Williams back in the game. LeBron off the miss. Ilgauskas tips to keep it alive. LeBron James missing for 3 out of the corner. A loose ball foul on Ilgauskas. 2 fouls on him.
Michael Doliak right that time breathing a sigh of relief, because that is a flat-out load to try to block out Ilgauskas. You see LeBron James kind of snuck around the baseline, wanted that ball, called for it. Eric Snow found it, but it didn't quite go. And LeBron James has improved his three-point shooting dramatically since he's come into the league.
Here's Wade. And the rebound knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Heat, so seems like we've been stuck on that 41 for a while. Eric Snow at the point for the Cavs. Wade defending. Murray guarded by Williams. Snow trying to slip through. 5 to shoot. Ilgauskas over Doliak. Derek Anderson with the Miami rebound. Minute and a half have gone by. Neither team has scored, and 3:07 left in the half. Wade getting into the lane. Dwyane Wade getting the nice bounce. And that puts Miami up by 2, and Wade has 13.
Few guys in the league utilize that big 2-foot jump stop and explosive finish as well as Dwyane Wade does. That's his signature. When he gets into the paint, he's going to come to a 2-foot jump stop and just explode over you with that great athleticism.
James beats the defense. There's Snow wide open. Eric Snow hitting the open jumper.
With Cleveland, you got to pick your poison, and that's what you're going to give up. You're going to give up Eric Snow shooting that 15-foot jump shot. LeBron James drawing so many defenders. Miami's going to have to send guys, leave Snow, but that time he makes them pay. You look down the stretch here for the Cleveland Cavaliers the rest of their season. The 10 teams, top 10 teams in the league, Cleveland's the worst road team. That's something they need to prove to themselves they can do that to be taken as a legitimate contender.
Dwyane Wade hits from the perimeter. Wade starting to heat up. That's 15 for Wade as the Miami Heat go up by 2. But the thing about Cleveland, and you touched on it early on. In fact, when we walked in the building, you said, you know, it's almost like everybody has given a sigh of relief. They've clinched. So even though they've got some tough games coming up, it's going to be interesting because they really won't be playing under pressure.
It's a totally different mindset. The past 2 years, when you had just must-win after must-win situation the last couple weeks of the season, this year, you know, Mike Brown, they're not going to get caught by anybody for the 4 seed, and they're not going to catch anybody in their division. So they're locked in. They're going to be the 4 seed. And Mike Brown has that luxury right now. It's just going to matter of breakdown. Who are they going to end up playing in the first round? But you prepare about your season out differently when you know you're already in the playoffs.
That group of teams that you saw, the Clippers, of course, will be ending their playoff drought this year as well. Wayne Simeon returns for the Heat. Michael Doliak goes out. If you're joining us late, Shaquille O'Neal out. Fluid on the left knee. He missed their last ball game. And it's a day-to-day issue with him. And Gooden missing again from the free throw line. Cavs have missed their last 4. So the Heat with a chance to extend, and Wade on the miss as LeBron James takes down the rebound. 1:43 for the half. James with a nice pass in the crowd, but out of bounds to Miami.
Yeah, Flip Murray saw the opening along the baseline, and that pass just had a little too much on it for Flip to handle and finish that play.
Dwyane Wade guarded by Snow. Takes Snow to the hoop and draws the foul on Eric Snow. So 2 shots coming for Dwyane Wade.
And if you're Cleveland in that situation, you know, you're going to go under on the pick and rolls with Dwyane Wade. That's obviously their strategy because Eric Snow is going to make Dwyane Wade shoot that pull-up 18-foot jump shot. Problem is you can't go under the screen and get beat to the rim. You've got to pick one or the other. Usually you're either going to fight over the top and take the chance he'll turn the corner. But if you go underneath, you want to concede that jump shot. Dwyane Wade hasn't really knocked it down consistently today.
Don't forget, tomorrow on ABC, a doubleheader as the race for the playoffs continue. At 12:30 Eastern, the Suns and the Pistons. Then at 3:30, either the Rockets, Lakers, or the Nuggets, Mavs. That's tomorrow on ABC, home of the NBA Finals. D. Wade taking care of business at the free throw line.
You know, the thing about Wade and James that's so great for the NBA, too, that it's not just about the talent. They've got the charisma, the personality, the smarts. They embrace being a star. They embrace being unselfish. I mean, they're everything you'd want your star player to be and more.
And they're going to be a big part of USA basketball. Rolling in is Murray, but he violated the inline as he made the move.
That was one of the best ever. By the time these 4 guys are done, you know, Dwyane Wade's been in the playoffs. LeBron James finally getting a taste. Darko Milicic's the other guy not listed, already has a championship ring. Carmelo's in the postseason. Got to get Chris Bosh there, so they all get a taste of it.
8 to shoot, 50 seconds for the half as Wade powers into the lane and finds the open Haslam. Udonis Haslam has been terrific today. 14 points, knowing just where to be, and the Heat have their biggest lead.
A 2-for-1 situation for Cleveland coming back, and they attack quickly, but offensive foul, and LeBron James on the dish. Good defensive positioning that time. And now Miami has an opportunity to get a 2-for-1 going back the other way with 40 seconds. But look how they spread the floor. When you spread the floor, it's almost impossible to double-team Dwyane Wade. And Miami spread it. They had 2 shooters on the baseline. Wade penetrated, got help, found Udonis Haslem for the spot-up jumper.
So on a day when you don't have Shaquille O'Neal, here's Wade off the glass. A nice shot by Wade. Wade obviously has been the big offensive threat, but the other thing about the Heat in this first half, they've got 13 assists and just 3 turnovers. So their recipe for victory has been, let's take care of the ball.
And Dwyane Wade did a smart thing that time, attacked quick enough so that they were going to ensure themselves of getting at least one more possession here in the first half.
Off the drive, Murray, he got met right at the summit. He'll be on the line to shoot 2. Joe Crawford and Scott Wall trying to decide whom the foul is on, and the foul is on Haslem.
I tell you, this guy at the foul line has as much to do with Cleveland being in this position as anybody on their team, because shortly after he arrived in Cleveland, they were really at a tough situation. They had lost 6-7 games in a row, blew a huge lead to Chicago, getting ready to drop their 8th straight game. And that's when all the tension and pressure was being felt by this organization. And Flip Murray bailed him out with a 3-pointer against Chicago. They win that game, and it really turned things around here down the stretch and has got this team now thinking positively headed toward the postseason rather than just trying to hold on for their lives.
So in their final possession, here comes Jay Will all the way to the rim, and he gets it down with 2/10 of a second left.
Inexcusable defense that time after converting free throws with 4 seconds left to allow Miami to go coast to coast and finish with a layup. Mike Brown not happy heading into the locker room. Underrated player, when he gets an opportunity to have an improved role in the offense, he's taking advantage of it.
And the Heat have taken care of the ball as well in this first half as the third quarter gets underway. Eric Snow controlling for the Cavs.
And Miami comes out into a little zone defense here in the first possession. And Pat Riley likes to do it for a possession or 2 here or there throughout the game. You don't see this team play a lot of zone, but in the first half, Cleveland turned the ball over when they first saw it.
1 on the shot clock, and Flip Murray just got it away. That would have been tough to take, to come down and get hit with a shot clock violation in your first possession in the second half. Jason Williams, Wade over Snow.
And again, that's the one you live with. Let Dwyane Wade shoot that shot. Try to get a hand up at that 19-foot jump shot, and you've at least got a shot to defend him, because you cannot play him out to the 3-point line chest to chest. He's too good, too athletic.
The Cavs with a chance to string a couple of hoops together. 8 on the shot clock. Ilgauskas. Drew Gooden against Doliak. And a missed tip dunk on the follow by LeBron.
LeBron actually drew some contact on that follow. Wanted to get a call and get to the line. Spectacular even when he misses.
Haslem on a rare miss for him today. And the Cavs bring it right back. Snow finding James. And the Cavs are back to within 5.
Great awareness that time by LeBron. Knew he had Derek Anderson on his back. Sealed him in the middle of the lane, and Eric Snow with the delivery so LeBron can finish.
21 for LeBron. Anderson missing. Ilgauskas clears. And Cleveland with a chance to make it 6 in a row as Wade steals the pass to the inside intended for Murray, and then the Cavs are whistled for the foul coming up the floor.
Drew Gooden, second personal
2 fouls on Drew Gooden today.
First team.
You know, the Miami Heat with no Alonzo Mourning today, no Shaq, and so far, no problem.
We're talking about 2 of the top 10 centers in the league this year, and Zoe and his impact on the game, blocking shots and rebounding the basketball. We know about Shaq, but Michael Doliak's had to step up, and Haslam's played well.
We asked Pat Riley, you know, before the game, before the injury to Alonzo Mourning, in and out for Jason Williams, if the Heat had, you know, pretty much maxed out in terms of potential, he said, well, maybe, but not quite. He thought maybe they could have a little more competitive edge about them as a team.
They've only had one stretch all year, I think, where Dwyane Wade and Shaquille O'Neal were both healthy, 100% healthy, and both guys playing well. That was for a short time right after the All-Star break. So I think that's what Pat Riley alludes to when he says, no, there's more upside to this team than we've seen, because they haven't had a long stretch of the 2 of them playing at a dominant level.
But they hope to have that in the postseason. And the thinking now is that Alonzo Mourning perhaps will be healthy enough to get back before the playoffs, get a couple games in. Gooden struggling at the free throw line today.
The great thing about Zoe, unlike a lot of guys that would come back from injury right before the postseason, he doesn't need touches to get his rhythm back. He's a guy that affects the game with defense, shot blocking, and being a physical presence, and he can do that whether he's had any regular season games or not.
Udonis Haslem thought he was fouled going up on that follow. Flip Murray from the outside. Ooh. Overshot the rim right to Doliak. 3 minutes having been played here in the third. And Doliak finds the range.
And like Haslem, that's a shot he can make. Both of those guys have nice touches. They can shoot the ball facing up. Neither guy wants the ball with his back to the basket, so you've got to utilize them in some capacity. Pick and pop the best way to get Michael Doliak a shot.
And that's the 8th assist for Dwyane Wade. 10 to shoot. James drops off to Gooden. And the move by Gooden along the baseline turns it over to Miami. About 8.5 left in the third. The Heat at New Jersey tomorrow night. And what would be a huge game. New Jersey having won 11 straight, and Dwyane Wade sticks from the outside.
You got to live with that. I mean, Eric Snow had a hand right on Dwyane Wade's chin as he released that ball, and that's the one area of Dwyane Wade's game you're going to just have to live with. If he makes that shot, forget it. You can't defend him.
He's getting better there. You know, when you look at his field goal percentage coming in and knowing that he's like 17% from three and his overall percentage is almost 50, yeah, that's unbelievable.
How scary is this guy going to be when he really develops legitimate three-point range? But I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Eric Snow's right there. Hand right in your face. That's where you want. That's perfect defense. That's a 21-foot jump shot. Sometimes, as good as your defense is, offense in the NBA is better.
Ilgauskas off the inbounds pass. The Big Z has 8. But the Cavs are in a long stretch now where they're just kind of out there. You know, there's not any zip. There's not any pop to their game. And Anderson, Derek, off the drive, is fouled by Ilgauskas.
Now, this is a team that relies on LeBron, being really athletic to get this building going and get this team kind of pumped up. And he had a moment early in the first half with that alley-oop from Drew Gooden. But other than that, the glimpses of that athleticism really haven't been there. So the crowd and this team, I think, is kind of waiting on that LeBron moment where he takes over the game for a few minutes.
Derek Anderson starting today. And Anderson makes good on both free throws. Now, Cleveland holding on to that 4th spot. It looks like they'll be pretty much locked in there. I mean, with, 10 games left after today, and they're up 5 on Washington. But the thing about a Cleveland-Washington matchup in the first round, you'll have Larry Hughes back healthy for the Cavs going against his former team. But you're going to have more of a playoff-tested Wizards team in that series. And the Cavs, of course, I mean, they'll have the home court, but still Washington, I think, will be tough to play.
There's no question. That team could put up numbers with anybody in this league. And they were looking for that third guy to go along with Arenas and Jamison after Hughes left. And Caron Butler, second half of the year, has made all the difference with that team. They've now got 3 guys every night that can get you 25 to 30 points if they're hot. And they can put up numbers. And Cleveland's a team that I think would not want to see a team like Washington in that first round. But Indiana and Milwaukee aren't slouches. So no matter how you slice it, they're going to have their hands on it.
Yeah, obviously those brackets we showed you are subject to change. But in all likelihood, well, we know that the Cavs are going to be in there at that 4th spot. Gooden connecting from out front. That's 4 field goals for Gooden today. And the game moves on. 6:55 left. Doliak against Ilgauskas. 3-second violation.
That's what I talked about. You want to put guys in position where they succeed. Michael Doliak doesn't want the basketball down there with Zydrunas Ilgauskas on his back. I mean, that's like an eclipse down there when you catch the basketball. And that time, Doliak really didn't know what to do with it. Much more comfortable out facing up.
As Snow worked into the front court away from the ball, LeBron James is making like a circular motion with his hand, like, let's go, let's pick it up. Well, Ilgauskas scores, and he draws a foul.
Yeah, Michael Doliak goes to the front on Ilgauskas, and the problem with that, when you're fronting a guy that's 7'3", unless you have great pressure on the passer, which in this case LeBron didn't have any, you're going to be able to get that ball in there. Help comes late, and now Ilgauskas with a chance for a three-point play.
Ilgauskas, a good free throw shooter, 83%. And looking for his 11th point today. Say fans, log on to NBAstore.com where you can see the latest spring fashions from the NBA For Her collection. Gear up for the playoffs at NBA style at NBAstore.com. Jason Williams missing. Offensive rebound to Haslam. Udonis Haslam has scored 16, and 19 is his season high.
He's a guy that kind of disappeared for a little while this season because Antoine Walker came in here and took a lot of the minutes, a lot of the opportunities, but he still has grabbed more rebounds than any other player on this team this season, and has still a very capable guy that can give you some offensive production when he gets the opportunity, which obviously today with Shaq out of the lineup, he's getting.
A travel violation called on Drew Gooden. So the Miami Heat, they were up by 9 at the half. That was their biggest lead. And halfway through the third, they're up by 6. Wade around the pick by Doliak. And a foul called on Cleveland. Eric Snow whistled for the foul. Wade will be on the line, on the free throw line for the Heat. How about this line for Dwyane Wade? 8 assists and no turnovers. And 22 points. Oh, and did I mention he has 5 rebounds? Other than that, he hasn't done a whole lot today.
He probably drove the bus over here from the hotel.
An 8-point Miami lead. They were up 9 at one time. The Cavaliers just unable to get any sustained traction to get back in this game. Parajon with a bouncer out to Murray. 7 on the shot. Flip Murray got into no man's land, got in the air, had no pass, no shot, committed the offensive foul.
They talk about spacing. That time Cleveland had the opposite of that because you've got Eric Snow in one corner who's really a non-threat as an outside shooter. Anderson Varejao on the other baseline, another non-threat. So all Miami defenders along the baseline able to sit there in the paint and wait for penetration, that time forcing the offensive foul by Flip Murray.
And the 14th turnover for the Cavaliers, while the Heat have just 5. Wade, again it's Haslam. Udonis with the rebound. Miami another opportunity, about 5 minutes to the third. Doliak fires, and Wade gets another assist.
Now you talk about a guy in his element. That's where Michael Doliak wants to be, and he can really make that shot. And Miami, when they run pick and roll, you've got to put 2 defenders on Dwyane Wade. You've got no choice because he will turn the corner on you every time. That's going to free up somebody, and Doliak and Haslam have been making that shot consistently today.
LeBron James, and the foul puts LeBron on the free throw line. The Cavaliers looking up now at a 10-point deficit. Donyell Marshall returning, and Zydrunas Ilgauskas goes out. Check this move by LeBron James.
Yeah, guys that size aren't supposed to be able to move that quickly. And Derek Anderson is a guy at about 6'6", looking at a guy much bigger than him, but yet the guy's able to blow by you like that. That's a scary thought as a defender.
LeBron James, a perfect 6 for 6 from the line. 22 points for James. Damon Jones also in the lineup now for Cleveland.
Remember LeBron James, 28 foul shot attempts in a game against Miami earlier this year.
Just 7 so far today, so that's definitely been something that Miami has had a focus on, keeping him off the line and out of the paint. Williams
sends it out to Wade. Wade over Snow. And James with the rebound. James around a Marshall screen. And LeBron works around a Varejao screen and nearly turned it over. A reset on the shot clock, and James at the rim was fouled. 2 shots coming.
it's not the way you draw it up. LeBron James had the ball initially working inside, lost it for a minute, able to regain control, and Miami couldn't save the ball. And you had Michael Doliak back on his heels that time, able to get to the line.
That's the fourth foul on Doliak, as James, who hasn't missed today from the line, makes it 8 straight. Tomorrow, remember, on ABC, the Phoenix Suns and the Detroit Pistons at 12:30, followed by the Houston Rockets and the Los Angeles Lakers at 3:30, or Nuggets and Mavs. And then tomorrow night on NBA TV, the Heat playing at New Jersey at 6 o'clock Eastern. The doubleheader on TNT next week on Thursday, the Pistons and the Heat at 8, followed by the Lakers and the Nuggets. Back to a 6-point ball game after the Heat had opened up their biggest lead at 10. Antoine Walker finding Wade in the post. He draws a crowd. Wade slips through, and as he got along the baseline, his pass, there was a foul called. That time called for the foul.
That time, Jim, Dwyane Wade, very patient in the low post, saw the double team coming. I think Eric Snow maybe relaxed for a minute because he knew he had help, but instead Wade spun away from the help, able to turn the corner on that baseline and draw the foul.
So perhaps we're going to end up with a free throw shooting contest the rest of the way today. Wade short for that first one. He has made 5 of 5, and Wade shoots 78% on the season.
Yeah, the thing that you just marvel at, a guy like Dwyane Wade and LeBron James, and even a guy like Allen Iverson, you know they're trying to get into the paint every possession. That's where they want to be. They want to live in there, yet despite the fact that every defense is geared to preventing that, you can't do it. That just speaks volumes about how athletic, quick, explosive, strong, every characteristic you have to have. These guys utilize all of it.
Wade missing both. Well, they understand that's how you unlock the defense. You get into the paint, and that collapses it as James gets to the rim, and the foul. LeBron James with a chance at another 3-point play.
I mean, LeBron James that time goes from about 24 feet out, gets to the rim, and just 2 dribbles going to his right, able to pick it up to help, doesn't get there in time, and LeBron James back at that foul line.
As the foul was called on Udonis Haslem, that's James' first miss today from the free throw line. 9 out of 10. But the Cavs are back to within 4. 6 straight points for Cleveland. 3:36 left in the third. Wade against James. It's loose. It's still loose. And Bergeron comes up with it. Swatted to the floor by Wade. Wade did that in anger because he felt he was fouled initially by James.
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen LeBron James matched up on Dwyane Wade today. A little bit of a more physical body, bigger presence, and good old-fashioned wrestling match for this basketball. Anderson Rajon able to pick it up and draws the foul, and Dwyane Wade comes in and prevents any opportunity for a 3-point play. But you got to love the energy and effort of the 2 young superstars getting on the floor after that basketball, trying to make the little plays to help your team get a win.
Rajon making the first one. You saw in the replay there with LeBron James and Dwyane Wade where James reached out and grabbed his jersey going to the floor.
Had a nice hold of some Miami Heat jersey there, and that's the one area where LeBron James, I think, is continuing to show improvement as a leader. Take on the best defensive assignment that you can.
We know that we're in a position, when guys like Shaq and Iverson and Kobe, all them guys who's been in the league a while, that we're the next in line. We're the young guys who everybody's talking about. So we just want to continue to keep the legacy going. And I'm always, as long as we ain't playing against each other, I'm LeBron. I'm one of his biggest fans.
And what makes great players? Effort.
Well, you've got to set the tone for your team when you're a star player, and that's what Dwyane Wade and LeBron James do. And Dwyane Wade, here's the great hustle. It'd be easy for a guy after that effort diving for the ball to lay there and watch what happens at the end of that play, but Dwyane Wade gets back and prevents any possibility for a 3-point play.
Or go to the official and start complaining about it. He was upset that he didn't get the foul call as Walker delivers for the Heat. But he didn't say anything to the official until after he had hustled down and blocked that shot. Quiet crowd, but a big one here at the Q. Donyell Marshall cleared by Shandon Anderson.
And that's going to be an important element to this team in the postseason. That three-point shooting with Donyell Marshall and Damon Jones is going to be huge, because when they start playing a team in the playoffs, you've got one team focused on one player, LeBron James, over the course of a series, making adjustments. Other guys are going to have to make open shots, and those are the two biggest guys right now. I think they've got to be more consistent, because that guy is always consistent, what you get out of LeBron James.
LeBron James flying in and getting the feed from Damon Jones, and the big crowd on its feet now at the cue as the Cavs are back to within 3. Payton cleared by Verizon. Damon Jones on a 3. And Dwyane Wade to the rebound, ahead to Walker. Walker takes it in on James, and a blocking foul on LeBron James.
Look at LeBron James with a great athletic finish, and that gets this crowd going at a time down the stretch where you're going to need it. Tried to come back on the defensive end and make a play, but didn't quite get the call in his favor. Antoine Walker goes to the line.
LeBron James has scored 8 of the last 9 Cleveland points, and Antoine Walker dropping the free throw to push the lead back to 4. There was a little shove there from Walker, it looked like.
It's interesting to watch his reaction there. He's upset about not getting that charge call. And I think that speaks about the evolution of LeBron James, because that's one area of his game, I think, where he's got to continue to show improvement. The defensive end, the tenacity, taking on the challenge night in, night out, setting the tone. And he really wanted that call. And he was sliding his feet a little bit, but he thought Antoine Walker pushed off with that right arm.
5-point lead for the Heat.
Dwyane Wade might be getting his last rest of the night.
He got 2 breaks there in that first half, and you're right, he's back on the bench right now. Verizon setting the pick. Marshall with 8 on the shot clock. Donyell Marshall hitting. And a quiet game for Marshall. His first points today. Funny-looking shot by Gary Payton, but not the result.
It was a little flat, I guess you could say, on that jump shot. But, I mean, when you're up about 20,000 points plus for your career, I think you can find a way to put the ball in the basket.
6 points for Gary Payton. 1:03 left in the third. Verizon right at the rim on the feed from James.
What vision by LeBron James. You see him come off that pick and roll, and his eyes never were on the basketball. He was looking, surveying the defense, even while he maintained his dribble. That's how you find guys like Anderson Varejao diving to the rim.
Inside, a foul called on Simeon's move to the rim, so Simeon shoots 2.
So I'm talking about, look at his head up, seeing the floor the entire time, and really just patiently waiting. He knew that cut was there for Varejao before Varejao even realized it was there. That's what we talk about, your vision and awareness. LeBron James isn't supposed to be able to do that at 21 years old.
Simeon, good free throw shooter, 90%. The 6'9" rookie will shoot one more with 47 seconds left in the third. Simeon puts the Heat back up by 5. Damon Jones starts it with LeBron, and Shandon Anderson is defending. LeBron James backs down, sends it out to Marshall. 5 on the shot clock. In deep, Verizon right at the rim, and a foul puts him on the line, shooting 2.
And you got to love Anderson Varejao right now with his activity in the paint. Really, the only threat they have right now on the floor, if LeBron James isn't attacking off the dribble or posting up, is Varejao to do some damage in that lane. And he's very active right now, and the Cavaliers doing a great job of finding him.
Anderson Varejao making the free throw. He's 2 for 2 today. 8 points scored. Ira Newble ready to come on for the Cavs.
Entering the game for the Cleveland Cavaliers, number 14, Ira Newble.
And Wade gets back in there for Miami.
So one superstar
Simeon
goes down, so he won't pick up a foul the last shot, and another one comes in to get the last shot for Miami, Dwyane Wade.
Shot clock at 20, not quite one difference. And Wade beats the 8-second count. Newell defending. 8 to shoot. Here goes Wade. Cleared by Marshall. Time for the Cavs. Marshall from near midcourt. On James. And the stage is set. Anybody's game going to the fourth.
And those two guys will have the biggest impact on the outcome of this game, but it's going to be interesting to see which role players step up and make shots when they need them.
So far today, Udonis Haslem has been big in that regard for the Heat. So the Heat in possession to start the fourth. Walker. Oh, nice.
That's what really has differentiated Antoine Walker since he's come into this league at 6'10". He can really handle that basketball and create that time for himself, but other times it's for other guys.
James around a pick by Damon Jones. And LeBron James has 31. Wade being guarded by James. And a reach-in foul on Wade's move into the lane. Rajon picking up the personal.
And LeBron with his body and strength could do a better job of forcing Dwyane Wade out on the floor and out of that post to receive the ball. But then he's got a difficult time keeping in front of a guy as explosive as Wade out on the perimeter.
4-point lead for the Heat.
Now Cleveland goes to a matchup zone here, out of the side, out of bounds.
8 to shoot for Walker. And it's Wade on the dunk follow. 25 for Dwyane Wade. Back to a 6-point Miami lead.
And Antoine Walker's penetration forced a collapse of that zone in the middle of the paint. And nobody got a body on Dwyane Wade.
Anderson guarding James. James sends it out to Marshall. That's a 3 if it drops. Tipped up, Pavlovich.
And again, it's the penetration of James that forces all 5 defenders to concentrate on him. The miss by Marshall, and Pavlovich comes out of nowhere with the left-handed tip.
Wade shooting for 3, right down the chute. Dwyane Wade hits.
Great players know when to answer, and this crowd was electrified after that tip dunk by Pavlovich, and Dwyane Wade just calmly comes down and shuts him up with a 3-pointer.
He says, I'll see your 2 and I'll raise you 1. And it's now a 7-point advantage for the Heat. 2 minutes deep into the fourth. That's LeBron James with a 3. So both Wade and James connecting on their first 3-pointers today.
And LeBron James just said to Dwyane Wade, let's go, baby, let's go, baby. He knows the moment. It's about those 2 guys and their ability to make shots.
Payton, guarded by Jones. Here's Wade from the top. And it's Walker with the offensive rebound, taken away by James. Damon Jones up court. A 3 by Jones.
That's an area that he excelled when he was in Miami, shooting that 3 in transition out of the backcourt.
His second 3 today, and the Heat lead is down to 1. 3 minutes into the fourth. Wade sends it out to Payton. He missed for 3, and on the rebound, Wade has it, took it away from Marshall. Off the reverse, what a move by Wade.
Unbelievable. Dwyane Wade working along the baseline, able to finish over Donyell Marshall, and James comes right back and answers again.
My, oh my, how this one is heated up. Timeout Miami, and the Q roars its approval here in Cleveland.
LeBron James knows how to answer the bell, gets his team back in it with the 3. The superstars going back and forth. Damon Jones getting in on the act. It's a 3-fest right now in Cleveland. The Cavaliers have come all the way back. To guys, they sense the moment, and they know that the moment is at hand right now, and they love the drama and the theatrics going back and forth at each other. LeBron leading this comeback, getting some help from Damon Jones, and Pavlovich Pavlovich, but it's going to be about LeBron and Dwyane Wade down the stretch.
And they're matched up here as Wade takes him on the drive. What a beautiful finish by Wade. 32 for Wade.
My goodness, what a show these two guys are putting on. Dwyane Wade looking like as close to Michael Jordan as anything I've seen on that last move.
Here goes James, sending it out to Marshall. They ran him off the three. And Simeon with the rebound for the Heat. Walker guarded by Pavlovich. As Walker spun baseline, he stepped out of bounds. Now Udonis Haslem coming back on for Miami. Wayne Simeon goes out. Pat Riley doesn't have the roster he would like to have. No Mourning, of course, and for the second game in a row, no Shaq. And also today Posey on the inactive. Pavlovich off the drive. The rebound loose. Pavlovich recovers. 7:45 for regulation.
And right now you see Cleveland spread the floor. They're going to go pick and roll in the middle. You've got a deadly three-point shooter in both corners. And James finds Donyell Marshall. Good job by Antoine Walker to chase him off that line.
6 to shoot. It's James on a three. And Barajan the offensive rebound. Here's Damon Jones. Marshall again for three.
He just has not found that three-point stroke since he's come to Cleveland this year, but they're going to need that in the postseason. All you can do with a guy in that situation is just tell him to keep shooting the basketball. He's going to make a few and get his confidence back.
Wade finding Payton. And the three ball nailed by Anderson. Shandon Anderson with his first three today.
It's the little things that make such a difference. Miami with the same similar set. Shooters in the corners. And Anderson able to knock it down. Not really known for that shot. And Donyell Marshall really struggling to make open threes in this game.
I should say it's his second. He had one hit from there in the first half. 6:42 for regulation. LeBron James driving on Anderson. Lost it going up, but a foul. And James shoots two.
It's a good thing they committed that foul because that was going to get ugly. LeBron James is getting ready to posterize the entire team, and you don't want this kind of dunk right now, this time of the game, to get this crowd electrified. So it's a smart foul. You send LeBron to the foul line to earn 2 points rather than bring this crowd to their feet.
4 fouls on Shandon Anderson, and LeBron James drops the free throw. He has scored 19 points in the last 10 minutes of play. Barajan goes out. Ilgauskas is back.
Barajan gets a great round of applause, and he should. He and Pavlovich have come in and made a lot of hustle plays on that offensive glass and put the ball back in LeBron James' hands with extra possessions.
39 for LeBron, a 3-point Miami lead. Payton guarded by Jones, leaves it with Wade. Wade trying to rub James off, gets to the rim on a flip, goes down, and a foul.
I'll tell you, there's not a guy in this league that's got more acrobatic finishes than Dwyane Wade. He has an amazing ability to take contact, contort his body, flip it over his head, go into a 180 spin. He's always got such a soft touch on the basketball after the contact. Takes great strength, great athletic ability, and a great awareness of where the rim is.
And Wade's free throw is good. He completes the three-point play. Wade has 35. James with the ball with 39. A sensational fourth quarter here at the Q. Damon Jones on a three. And he has the stroke.
And he has really been hot lately, and this is a guy now that's got his playoff look about him and his swagger back. You can see the talking and the cockiness. That's Damon Jones at his best.
Wade missing the three. The long rebound picked off by Miami, so the Heat with a three-point lead regain possession. Here goes Wade. Somehow got it up there.
It's just amazing the way this guy can go into the gut of a defense and come out and rise above and able to finish shots despite how many guys are contesting it.
He's got 37. His season high is 42. Underneath Marshall, the shot blocked from behind, but a foul call.
60 is too big to be fighting over pick and rolls on the perimeter against a guy like Dwyane Wade. You want to force him to shoot the pull-up jump shot, but if you go over the top, he'll get to the paint every single time because Ilgauskas and Barajan and Donyell Marshall aren't quick enough to keep him in front.
Donyell Marshall on the free throw line for the Cavaliers with 5:35 left. You know, you saw the line there on Wade and on James. And so much of the game, Tim, we were talking about how, you know, they were handing the ball off and doing a good job of delivering the ball. Not now. They've taken over the scoring load.
That's what stars do. You know, role players help you get to the point where the outcome will be decided, but the stars are going to be the ones that decide this game. And LeBron James and Dwyane Wade know that. And they're going to be going mano to mano the last 5.5.
All right, here we go. Payton. Guarded by Murray. James stays and goes under the screen.
That's exactly what you have to do. He goes under.
Now he tried to go over.
That's how you go over, and you see what happens. Dwyane Wade is going to continue to turn the corner if you chase him over that pick, because he's coming off the screen looking at Varejao back on skates. There's no way he can contain him. The first pick and roll, he went under, and you see he's able to maintain control, keep him in front, waiting for the pull-up jumper. Second time, goes over the top. Wade turns a corner, gets tripped. Miami gets another possession.
3-team fouls on the Cavs and 5 on Varejao as Wade gets inside again. And Payton wide open, missed on the 3-ball. Marshall clears. 5 minutes left. Damon Jones. James. Inside to Marshall. Tipped in by Varejao.
Varejau's giving them great minutes off the bench. A nice boost in double figures now, and he has really been active.
Bringing the Cavs to within 2. This is Wade shooting over LeBron James. And it's picked off by Varejao, and the Cavaliers now with a chance to tie. 4:30 left in the fourth.
Textbook defense on Wade that time. Force him to the pull-up jumper, hand up, hope he misses.
LeBron James against Payton. Marshall swoops to the hoop, and the game is tied.
Well, he might have lost confidence in his three-point shooting, but he certainly hasn't lost his aggressiveness in trying to score and make plays. And with that long reach, he's able to get to the rim and finish with the finger roll. Now, the book on Ed Donyell Marshall is chase him off the three-point line, and they do that this time, but again, he's got great reach at 6'10", wingspan of a guy even bigger than that, and he's able to get there and finish. And he needed that basket for his confidence down the stretch, because he's going to have more looks in this game.
Miami with Dwyane Wade controlling, and now it's Antoine Walker. 11 on the shot clock. Walker against Marshall. Walker to the rim with the left hand. Cleared by Varejao. Looked like he got cracked in the head. The Cavs now with a chance at the lead. And LeBron James leaves it in the hands of Marshall. And the rebound tapped out by Anderson to Wade as the Heat control. Dwyane Wade needs 1 assist and 2 rebounds for a triple-double. And LeBron James needs 2 assists. Here's Wade on the drive again. How did he get to the rim that time?
Well, that time he actually went away from the screen as the defender looked for that pick coming up and trying to figure out, am I going under or over? Wade went the opposite way and caught him by surprise.
Cleveland gets the lead on a 3 by Damon Jones.
I mean, he has been in that situation many times in his career, playing down in Miami deep into the postseason, and he senses the moment. He likes that situation, likes the pressure.
Wade gets the roll, and Dwyane Wade has 41.
I mean, you're at the point now, if you're Mike Brown, you almost have to run a defender at him as soon as he crosses half court. Once he gets into the scoring range, they have no answer for him.
Remember, his season high is 42. LeBron James on a deep 2 right down the chute.
You can't ask for any more than this. 2 superstar players going back and forth.
That's 41 for LeBron. Wade sends it off to Payton. Payton against Murray. 5 to shoot. Dwyane Wade saves and tries to bail him out as the Cavaliers end up with it up by 1.
If anybody can make that shot, it's Dwyane Wade. And that would have been...
And that 41, 10, and 9 for LeBron James. to this point. And Dwyane Wade with 41, 9, and 8. And of course, the Miami Heat playing today without Shaquille O'Neal. And the Cavaliers have dominated the paint as a result.
Yeah, that's where you'd expect Shaq to take up space, and even Alonzo Mourning, one of the all-time great deterrents in that paint for any would-be penetrator. Cleveland's had their way in there today, but really comes down to those two guys right there on the perimeter making shots and getting other guys involved down the stretch.
Shandon Anderson guarding James. Less than 2 minutes now with 7 to shoot. Here's Damon Jones for 3. And the Heat the rebound as Udonis Haslem takes it down.
And we'll see how Cleveland plays Dwyane Wade this time. You know they're going to get into some sort of pick and roll. LeBron James goes under that time, and Dwyane Wade unable to get a shot.
10 to shoot. Wade with a try it again. Spins through the defense and had the ball knocked away. The Cavaliers the steal. Damon Jones to Murray. He juggles a pass to James for the layup. And back at the other end, it's Wade. Count the basket and the foul. Dwyane Wade with a chance at a three-point play. He has a new season-high 43.
Well, you see Cleveland first out in transition, and Dwyane Wade tried to save that ball and ends up at that end of the floor. That's going to matter. We'll see in a second. But first, LeBron James on the finish. Now the problem is that's LeBron James' responsibility, and Dwyane Wade is all the way back there by himself. Great awareness to throw it ahead, and he's able to get to the line and a chance to tie this thing up.
Wade's career best is 48. He may be knocking on the door at that before it's over. 44 for Wade in a tie ball game with 1:20 left. James against Anderson. Oh, yeah.
What strength. That time Cleveland just flattened out everybody onto the baseline. Forget bringing out a screener. Let LeBron James operate against Shandon Anderson. Gets him backpedaling, falls, and LeBron James able to finish.
It's one of those games where whoever has it at the end is going to win. Dwyane Wade again. And on the rebound, it's taken out by Cleveland. Now the Cavs with less than a minute remaining with a 2-point lead. Over 20,000 coming to their feet at Quicken Loans Arena. LeBron James in a crowd, sends it out to Marshall. The rebound to James, 39 seconds. Marshall the jam. A great offensive rebound by James, setting it up for Donyell Marshall.
And Donyell Marshall continues to struggle with that outside shot, but he has found ways to make plays. And LeBron James that time with great vision, finding Donyell Marshall sneaking along the baseline for the biggest bucket of the game so far.
James with a triple-double now on that feed to Marshall. And the Cavaliers have opened up a 4-point lead and will be held as Wade inbounds. He comes into Williams. Look at the line tonight for Wade and for James. Walker missing the three. Cleveland ends up with a rebound with 30.6 left. A foul called on the Heat.
But Eric Snow was trying to get a timeout before the foul was committed, but the whistle took place just prior to Snow getting that timeout.
And now the timeout is granted to the Cavs. And Marshall and Damon Jones will be coming back into the lineup for Cleveland. Well, this is just one up. And Flint Murray to make the inbounds. Ilgauskas has it. He's fouled immediately by Haslem, but that's an 83% free throw shooter into Zydrunas Ilgauskas.
And the reason games like this are so important to Cleveland, if they can finish this off, because that has been the area they've struggled in the last 2 seasons and parts of this year is finishing games. And LeBron has had issues a couple games this year with free throws down the stretch and decision making, but lately during this streak, they're winning tight games. And it's not just LeBron James scoring, it's other guys making shots. And Ilgauskas misses the front end. Still hope here for the Miami Heat with 30 seconds. That's a lot of time.
And now Ira Newble is in. Marshall is out. Snow has checked in. with Damon Jones out. Cavs are 18 of 30 from the foul line today, so they could have really locked this up long ago if they would have shot a little better from the free throw line. But they're up by 5 with less than 30. Here's Wade feeding Haslam. Payton open for 3. Rebound tapped out. Walker a touch to Jason Williams. 18 seconds left. Wade with a corner 3 missed, and a loose ball foul on Udonis Haslam with 15.7 remaining. And the Cleveland Cavaliers are on their way to their 7th straight victory.
And as great as Dwyane Wade has been today, and he has been spectacular, that's one area down the stretch where it's tough when you're not really a three-point shooter. He had one look he passed up, then finally got another one, but he's only made 12 threes all year long. And I actually thought there was plenty of time for them to come down, he was 30 seconds left when that possession started, try to get to the line, get into the paint. You might get a three-point play or get a bucket. You've got more opportunities to extend the game.
Udonis Haslam with that foul, that's his 6th. He fouls out with 11 rebounds and scored 16 points, 14 of them in the first half. And LeBron James continues to add to his point total. 47 for LeBron. 18 in the 4th.
And you hear
And now today you see LeBron scoring some of his 47. He also is in double figures in rebounding and assists and has his 6th triple-double of the year and his 10th in his career.
And he's done it in a variety of ways. He's taken you off the dribble. He's got out in transition and finished. He's shot the 3. You need a bucket when you're down 1 or 2. He's trying to get some execution in late games.
Walker on a 3. And Cleveland in possession. They do have to cross midcourt. This one is over. The Cavs have won their 7th in a row. And they had to come from behind to do it. At one time, Cleveland trailed by 10 in the second half. And they win by 7, scoring the last 7.
Yeah, they really closed out well today. And that's an issue that this team has had the past couple seasons. Not so this spring. Cleveland